Another person that felt pretty good about it was South African immigrant, legal South African immigrant, and brilliant engineer, inventor, and a man with an ability to put together teams that get dreams done, turn dreams into reality. Space flight, electric cars, satellite communication, autonomous vehicles. Elon Musk. That's right. Elon was also in the Oval Office for the South African president's visit. South African president, the delegation from South Africa, which turned their backs on the video screen as it played proof of genocide against white farmers. So Elon was there, and he was standing very close with the media. And his look alone spoke volumes. Watch Elon as he looks at the South African president, not averting his glance once. And this speaks volumes. Let's look at Elon here.
Tremendous complaints about Africa, about other countries too, from people. They say there's a lot of things going on in Africa, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. When you
Does he hate this mother?
Just take a look at the southern border. We let 21 million people come to our border, totally unchecked. They came from all over the world. In many cases, they're criminals. They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions. They come from street gangs.
That's fantastic. Good for Elon. Good for Elon. Looking at that racist, milk dud headed. Just looking at him with all the contempt he should be looking at him with. Do you know, even with everything going on in South Africa, it is a hole. Its technology has been ravaged by scavengers that have stripped every bit of copper from the power system, have taken building materials out of buildings that were constructed to fashion rudimentary shacks and holes to live in. They're destroying the Western civilized infrastructure to turn it into a carbon copy of any other hole you'd see on the dark continent. They don't know how to maintain a modern Western civilization infrastructure. So it falls apart and it's pilfered from and destroyed. And that's what they're going through. So their communication system is not very good. And Elon Musk wanted to go into South Africa, his former homeland, and introduce Starlink to them. Starlink, of course, the incredible high speed, low latency satellite internet. We've had satellite internet for years, but the fact that this is a new technology of satellite internet, it is high speed, it is low latency, it's amazing, it's small, you could set it up anywhere. This isn't a commercial. Believe me, I would love to have Starlink as a sponsor. It's not a commercial. This is from my own experience. I wasn't given a Starlink. I bought it during the hurricane that we had down here in South Carolina around the holidays, Christmas. I hooked it up in a matter of minutes because my internet went down. My cable internet went down. And I set this up, and I was up and running, and I had no problem doing everything I did. Gaming, broadcasting the show, anything I did with my Spectrum internet, I was able to do with Starlink. It is a miracle of in the world of internet. So Elon wanted to bring this to South Africa. He was told no. Why? Because he's white. No other reason. You are white. We don't just let white people and companies come into South Africa and make money. Now, although Elon has been very charitable in emergency situations with things like Starlink, the fires in California, the hurricane in South Carolina here and North Carolina, especially Tennessee, he gave a load of free Starlink equipment and generators to people that were without power and without communication. It's amazing how imperative that is. A lot of people in natural disasters, you think of the basics, which of course, food and water is paramount. Some form of shelter, warmth if it's cold out, things like that. Communication is so important. And many, many times the cell towers go down. They are powered off of electricity and maybe they're damaged, but whatever the case may be, people just don't have cell phone communication during these natural disasters. And something like Starlink gives people the ability to now communicate with their friends and family, emergency services, whatever they need to get their life back on track. And Elon has been unbelievably generous with Starlink in those situations. We've seen it. It's documented. But it is a business. So when you go to other countries and say, hey, we now have coverage in your area, we want to start selling our equipment and subscriptions to your citizens, you have to work that out. You have to work that out with various countries economically. And South Africa said no to Elon for one reason. He's white. They want black people, black businesses to do these things. Have you seen the technology coming out of the black majority of South Africa? Everything looks like a child's drawing turned into a prompt that is put into AI and spit out the other end. Take a kid's drawing of a helicopter, and then go, from this picture, AI, generate an image of what this would look like in real life. And it's comical. The rotors on the helicopter are like this big and the body is big and there's no sense of aerodynamics to it. That's what their technology looks like. It's hilarious. So, it's either take Elon, but they won't because he's white, or wait God knows how long to get an unbelievably efficient communication system in your country. That's racism. That's fucking racism. And that's the least of what they're doing. I mean, they're literally sanctioning the murder of white people in South Africa. And no mainstream media is going to tell me any different. So here's what the South African president had to say when confronted with this proof that he is presiding over a country where genocide against white farmers is absolutely taking place. So let's look at Milk Dud Head.
Our main real reason for being here is to foster trade and investment so that we are able to grow our economy with your support, and so that we are also able to address all these societal problems, because criminality thrives when people are unemployed, when they have no other hope to eke out a living. So that is what we need to resolve.
Let me give you the shorthand translation. Give us money and we might stop killing white people. There it is. That's what you just heard, folks. Give us money and we just might stop murdering these white people. The social ills would be the murdering of the white people. The economic trade and support is the gives me dat money portion. Every other word is inconsequential. Gives me dat, we stop killing. What kind of trade are we going to get with South Africa? What could they possibly, unless their export is white farmers? That is the only tangible, usable, worthwhile export that South Africa could send us. Competent, dedicated, motivated white farmers. We'll take them all. How many you want? Wrap up all of them. We'll take the whole schmear. We'll toss you some money. You could buy beads with it, or a hay hat, or a silly mask to make it rain. But that's what's going on. He said there's so much crime and unemployment. Why? Why is this? Why can't South Africa, a nation that fought for its justice, its equality, white people were in charge under apartheid. Why would a minority of people be in charge of the majority of people? Why would that be? Well, at the time, the white minority said, because the black majority is incapable of even taking care of themselves. If we let them govern themselves, this country will turn to in very, very short time. That was considered racist and terrible to say. And, Bono yelled at them, and little Steven Van Zandt and a bunch of other musicians, Hall & Oates, they yelled at them and called them racist and said, no, they should govern themselves. They are the majority. And with enough pressure, it was like, all right, you got it. And now, decades later, this fat, worth, by the way, he's worth, Milk Dud is worth $400 million. Yes, $400 million. And he presides over a nation with a poverty rate that is unsurpassed by many, many nations. As he sits on a $400 million fortune, do you think he's really governing with a sympathetic hand to the populace? Or do you think it's kind of a power thing and it's going to be business as usual? And he wants more money from the United States. That's why he came there. He didn't come to the Oval Office to be yelled at. He thought there was going to be a big payoff. It's a shithole. Their unemployment is rampant decades after apartheid ended. Why? Why? Why haven't you gotten better? Why hasn't the black leadership taken the black majority population and constructed some industry, farming, have some export deals with some nations because they see your goods as being something they need and are willing to trade with? An age-old custom and business trade between nations. It was done 100,000 years ago. But for some reason, they can't swing it. And this guy sits in front of our president begging for money and saying, yeah, we'll probably stop the killing if you give us some money. We'll work on it. F you. F you. So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.